Ahoy! And welcome to the Boating Hour with Captain Rick. The Boating Hour brings you the latest and greatest essential information about everything that sails, floats, or motors upon the high seas of Southern California. From landlubbers to old salts, there'll be something for everyone. So climb aboard and get ready to sail with Captain Rick.
Ahoy out there and welcome to the Boating Hour. I'm Captain Rick and I want to thank you for joining us here on AM 870. We're here every Saturday at 4 p.m. and please be sure to visit us on the web at theboatinghour.com and now on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. The Boating Hour with Captain Rick. Thanks to our sponsors for our show today. For a healthy gut, the best probiotic on the market, Livia One Probiotics, natural, organic, and allergen-free. And Raycom Radio's reliable two-way communications throughout Southern California. So today, we got Captain Craig back with us. Captain Craig, thanks for joining Captain Rick on the Boating Hour.
Yay, Captain Rick.
It's so exciting to have you back. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. First, I want to say you're probably already planning the Halloween parade coming up. Are you working on that already?
Already up. You can go to the website, HalloweenBoatParade.com, and get your entry in so we can give you an entry number. Just like last year, we got plenty of fun sponsors, from Tony P's to who knows who. HalloweenBoatParade.com.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. You know, I love the events at the marinas. It's so exciting. I've always liked the Christmas boat parades at all the various marinas. And that was one of my favorite things to do in Catalina is to go when they have events. You've been to Catalina recently? When was the last time you were in Catalina? I love Catalina.
We were in Catalina maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was just before the 4th of July weekend, I think. Lots of fireworks and all that good stuff. So that was cool. And then, you know, we got Buccaneer Day and all that other stuff. Catalina is always a fun trip. And I encourage everybody, if you don't have a boat or you don't have somebody with a boat, then get on the fast boat down in San Pedro or Long Beach. And it's a quick trip, and it's worth every penny.
Absolutely. No, we got the Avalon City Harbor Master coming on next week. So that'll be exciting. Orrin is the harbor master. We're going to talk all about, you know, how they were locked down for a while and they're back in business. People are coming. And then the following week, I've got the visitors, the tourist bureau. So we're going to have Jim from he's also the film liaison. You know, they film so many things in Catalina. I absolutely love Catalina. Boy, it's so exciting. Where do you go? I like going to the Isthmus.
Yeah, I mean, it depends because Buccaneer Day is in 2 harbors, and it's fun to go in there and hang out at the bar and look at the Marina Yacht Club Burgee on seat number 1. Thank you, Jonathan.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
You know, it just depends, but there's so many great hotels, so if you're not staying on a boat, we're still friends with the Avalon mayor, and she's fantastic. And, you know, if you've never been to that museum, the museum is very cool. There's a lot of fun things in the museum that you would not expect to be in there. The museum at Avalon is fantastic. You know,
if I was in the service during the Civil War, I would have loved to have been stationed in Catalina.
Yes, that would have been a very good spot where the buffalo roam. So, yeah, I agree with you. That would have been a good spot.
You know, one of the most amazing things, I just couldn't imagine it, that during the Civil War, they literally, and you could see it. I guess they got some artifacts and some things left over. That's one of the exciting things. Oh, you know something? Let's talk about the sunken boat in the slip next to you.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all of a sudden, every day I would walk up and down the dock, and there was this old Chris Craft wooden boat that had seen better days, but I mean, it was just on the verge, you know, gosh, can you save it? Can you not save it? And every day I'd walk by and the pump would be on. A couple of the bilge pumps would be on, and they'd be going full blast. And I was like, you know, someday when the shore power goes down over here at this crazy marina, that, you know, we're going to have a big problem. So sure enough, I come home one day and I'm driving on the boat and I pull up and I'm like, oh, they moved the big Chris Craft. It moved right to the bottom of the harbor. It sank straight down and it slipped like, boop. So yesterday was just, thank you very much. You helped call the Coast Guard. And then, you know, we We called the sheriff's department and all that other stuff because it sat there for 7 days. And it was leaking fuel, and nobody around there was very happy. And the marina was not responding in kind, and nobody else was. So yesterday, finally, Towboat US shows up with their truck, and their guys are fantastic. You know, if you're not a Boat US person, you need to be. And they show up, and they got these monster pumps going. They pumped it out for 4 hours, and it wasn't getting anywhere. All the bottom water level portholes were open. So it seems like somebody wanted that boat thing. I'm not saying anything, but so once they got the portholes plugged up, then they unplugged it again. I mean, then they started pumping it out again, and they put the flotation devices underneath the boat. You know, if this plane goes down on water, your seat cushion can be used as a flotation device. That's what they always say on the airplane. But anyway. And my friend Tom Parks, the comedian, always had a great line. He goes, listen, if this plane's going down, my seat cushion's not going to be used as a flotation device. It's going to be used as a toilet. Anyway, take that for what you will. They got the boat up. It was 3:15, so the boatyard said, "Oh, we're closed." So they got it all ready to go and tow it over there. And then the boatyard said, "Nope, not today, tomorrow." So I haven't seen it, haven't been over there today. So that's the long story long. But they got it up and out of there, and I feel very sad that boat sank because it really, really was worth saving. It was a beauty in its day. So R.I.P. that one. So, yeah. But you know what? For a minute there, they thought the gentleman that owned it might have been in there. Like maybe he fell asleep when the thing went down. So there was a little concern on that, but that proved not to be true.
Well, okay, thank God we didn't lose anybody. That happens periodically. Yeah, the wooden boats are difficult to maintain, and I tell you, people go in waves. Sometimes they're there every day for years, and then they don't see their boat for years. So that's one of the things about the boats. But
well, it's funny because I mean, the last time I was on, we talked about it was raining so hard. Remember, you and I had the warning. You know, it's time to pump. Listen to me now and hear me later. Pump you out, and because people forget. You know, you got to go check and make sure all that stuff's working. So these guys had some serious pump out problems, but. So I feel bad about the boat, but thank God nobody was hurt.
You know, I've seen a few boats sink. And it's amazing to watch these guys work. I've seen them come in. I don't know if they came in with a diver and they put a big balloon, stick it inside the cabin and let the balloon force the water out and then it raises up. Is that what they did, or did they yank it out with the pulleys?
Because all the portholes were open, so they had to plug up the portholes with the little balloons, and then they would pump it out, and then they had the big flotation devices all the way underneath the boat, and then they got it up high enough where they could slip those under there and then just jacked it way up. So, you know, it looks, if you see it right now, it looks like it's floating, but it's not. It's resting on the buoys.
Boy, I tell you, and that's a danger, too, because you've got shore power connected. Now that's in the water. You've got docks. If you're tied, of course, you know, to the cleats on the dock, you're now pulling the dock down. You've got leakage issue with oil and battery acid and stuff, you know, leaking. And, of course, anything that was in the boat is going to start floating around. So a lot of issues with that. So, boy.
Yeah, battery acid and seawater, no bueno, you know. So it did take out part of the dock, too, and they lucked out because the bow of the boat was just back far enough. So when it went down with the tide, it would go up and down a little bit. And they lucked out because the bow of the boat was just about from the gangway, from the dock. So that could have taken out everything. So it's a very good thing. And, yes, the shore power was an issue, so made sure that was taken out, too. So it was good education on what not to do.
No, I get it. Are you following any of the Olympics? The sailing, it's so exciting, but we're not hearing any PR. We're not hearing anything about the sailing. I hope they show it. So I'm looking forward.
I'm not up to speed on that, but I'm sure, you know, something's streaming someplace with the sailing. So probably just got to dig into it a little bit. But the Olympics are cool. They're in Paris. That's really neat, and they had the opening ceremonies on the Seine and on the river and stuff. So it's cool. Very good.
Well, I'm going to be calling the yacht clubs to see if anybody's got any Olympic sailing watching parties. I've got a great guest coming on, going to talk about the America's Cup. He's been on before, and he's been following the America's Cup, since the 70s, and was on Dennis Connor's crew. So I'm going to be talking about the America's Cup and a little bit about the Olympics. I'll find out all about it. I've had some great guests. And you brought me a great guest. Remember Andy from Kookaburra Lounge? How do you pronounce that?
Yeah, Kookaburra. Andy's very funny. He's a seasoned stand-up comedian. He knows so many people. So they have this new club, Kookaburra, in Hollywood and Highland. And it's beautiful. They just redid the whole thing. It's funny. The lady that runs it is his ex-roommate, who's also a comedian, who does a fantastic Drew Barrymore impression. But Andy's great. Andy's fantastic. He's a big supporter of the Marina Yacht Club and paparazzi comedy, and he's very talented on a bunch of different levels. He does all the video for the little snippet video we do on Instagram for the Halloween boat parade, too. So he comes up with some real creative stuff for us, and he just does that because he likes helping.
Yeah, I love that. And I had him on. I had Jensen and Lori, who got a national, they're with the Coast Guard Auxiliary, and they do patrols, and they got a national award for a rescue. The fog rolled in, and the wind picked up, and these guys were coming in, and they ended up losing their motors. Some fishermen, but they were out there and they crashed up against the rocks. And they were on. And I had no idea that the kookaburra is a bird. Yeah.
There's a song about it, too. I want to be nominated for that award, too, because if you remember one time, a couple times ago when I was on, the guy on the boat next to me was floating away.
Oh, my goodness.
I snagged him. So whatever that award is, I want in on that one.
You know something?
I earned that one. I dragged him up by his belt loop before he floated away.
You did a yeoman's rescue job. I'm actually going to nominate you for the ASBYC and let the SCYA know. Absolutely.
Yay. Because literally he was floating out there like you can't believe. And I heard a sound I had never heard before. And then I went out there and that's what I saw. So thank you for that, Captain Rick. I appreciate that.
I'm going to do that. You think we can get a hold of your friend?
Yeah, we can probably find a meet.
Let's find a meet and let's talk to him because he's got I love events so much. I don't care where they are. They got an amazing event coming up in Topanga Canyon. Let's see if we can get him on and talk about his event.
That would be great.
Great. So Craig, let's talk about some other special events. We able to get Meet with us? Are we able to get him on the line?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Oh, excellent. Craig, I tell you, I love events. I love going to all kinds of events. And you told me, by the way, let me plug this first. SCYA's 33rd Women's Boating Event coming up in October. So give Captain Rick an email, and I'll forward you over to the Southern California Yachting Association's 33rd Women's Boating Event. It's an absolute fun weekend. This year it's going to be safety at sea seminars, but it'll be at the Del Rey Yacht Club. So, Craig, let's talk about your friend Amit. Introduce your friend Amit. Let's talk about this wonderful festival. It's not in the marina, but it's within earshot of the ocean. So let's talk about this Topanga Canyon Festival. Well, Amit, I got you on the line now. I think we lost Craig.
Well, wouldn't be the first time. He'll be back.
All right. Well, let's talk about this amazing event. Craig is so amazing. One of my good friends, and he had a boat. We talked about the boat sinking in the slip, and then we talked about we talked about a rescue that he had. And he's brought me a couple of amazing things. He does the Halloween festival. You ought to, Amit, you ought to have a boat in the Christmas parade and the Halloween parade, and you got to promote your festival. But let's talk about your festival. It's in Topanga Canyon, and it's a reggae festival. Is that right?
Yeah. So it's called Reggae on the Mountain up here in Topanga Canyon. We've been doing it for this will be the 12th edition. So I've been doing it for a good long time. It's a nice legacy festival up here in Topanga, which is, of course, just gorgeous.
Topanga is one of the iconic places in Los Angeles. From what I understand, almost the who's who of the music and entertainment industry have settled in Topanga at one time or another. Do you bump into these people in Topanga?
Oh, well, yeah, sure. I mean, the history up here is incredible. I live 2 doors down from Neil Young's old house.
Oh, no kidding.
I mean, everyone from Canned Heat to Spirit to the Eagles to Hendrix to the Doors, everyone's lived up here. And then, of course, there's a lot of great, contemporary musicians up here, too. You got guys from Metallica, from Tool, from, Jonathan Wilson. We had Taylor Hawkins up here. So, it's just a beautiful, beautiful place with such a rich musical history. Of course, the guys from Little Feat, Canned Heat. The list goes on just because it's such a, beautiful, peaceful, serene little canyon that's, adjacent to L.A. and all the hustle and bustle.
I love Topanga, but if you're in Topanga, you could be stuck in Topanga if the weather gets bad. So if you're working in the city, it's a hard place to be. Have you had that world-renowned, self-proclaimed, famous kazoo player, Captain Rick from the Boating Hour?
Have we? I'm not sure, but there's always more opportunities.
I'm going to come up there with my kazoo. I actually play harmonica. I grew up playing all kinds of musical instruments. Not very very good at any of them, but I certainly love my music. Well, let's talk more about your festival. Tell us what we're going to see, and tell us what kind of booths you got and what kind of what kind of stuff we got going on. Tell us about, and it's coming up next week. So this is
no, it's about a month out.
Hold on, cut.
August 17th.
You have to back up. Amit, this is the August 10th show.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, sure.
Could you go back? Okay, you know what? Sure. Craig's calling now. See if he can three-way with you.
Okay, he's calling you?
Calling you.
Okay, let's see if he pops up. Come on, Craig.
Okay, can you cut out where he goes, no, it's... I forgot to tell him this is the August 10th show.
Yeah, I just marked that one.
Yeah, so this is the August 10th show, so I forgot to say that when we began.
We got everybody.
Yeah, Craig's on.
Okay, good. Okay, let's continue.
Ready?
All right.
Okay, let's do this. Where would you like to pick up? Should you ask the question? Or
Yeah, I'll just ask the question.
Okay. Coming at you in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Well, this is great. So we got Craig back. And Craig, we lost you for a little bit. But, next week is the Great Topanga Canyon Festival. So I want Amit to tell us what kind of musicians are there, what kind of booths, what kind of event, what's the website. You know what? Plug the website a couple times. How do people find out about it?
Yeah, well, just go ahead and you can go to reggaeonthemountain.com to figure out, find out everything you need to know about the show. But, it's a beautiful outdoor event. Amazing craft vendors, amazing food vendors, of course, great Jamaican food. And of course the music, we have, Steel Pulse headlining, one of probably the greatest live reggae band, in my opinion, in the world. And in addition to Steel Pulse, we have Don Carlos, who is an absolute Jamaican legend, original member of Black Uhuru, and just one of the greatest, also living reggae performers. We have Marlon Asher coming from Trinidad, who's amazing, and then supported by a lot of amazing local, LA talent. So a lot of some Latin reggae fusion bands, and just the list goes on. It's 2 stages, I believe about 12 bands, and just a good time. Of course, we'll have, icy cold frosty beers and, a great bar, some amazing, wine and cocktails. So it's just really a great time, and it's also just fun for the whole family. Kids 10 and under are free. So we love to invite the whole family up, and we love it, sharing the music with the kids, and, it's just a good time.
God, that's so exciting. You know, Craig, I asked him if he knew about that world-renowned kazoo player, Captain Rick from the Boating Hour, and he never heard of him.
Well, this event is really, don't miss it, because go to reggaeonthemountain.com and it's their 12th year. Amit and Brooks, his partner started this thing, and this is their 12th year. It's their homecoming. And Brooks and Amit met in the band called the Chiefs, and they actually headlined the Topanga Days Festival, and that's how they kind of got the idea that, you know what, we should have our own little things. So tell us about the Chiefs, Amit.
Oh yeah, it was great, good times, man. So yeah, Brooks and I grew up together here in Topanga, and when we were in high school, we started a really fun kind of like funk rock band, super inspired by the local, stuff, inspired by your Little Feat, your Canned Heat, your Sly Stone. And, we would throw these big backyard parties, whoever's parents were out of town would take over the backyard and, and we'd do these big events and hundreds of kids would show up. And then all of a sudden, we got the bug for throwing events. So, we approached the Topanga Community Center up here when, I was 18 years old, and, we pitched this little reggae festival, and, from a little seed, it's grown into, one of the most renowned reggae festivals in California, and, people come actually from all over the world to come to this festival now, just because it's such a unique, beautiful, boutique event up here. So it's, a lot of trials and tribulations, but we've always just kept our eyes on the prize, and we're really just grateful to still be here and to be to have grown to the scale that we are now.
It's so exciting for me to get out on the water. I feel like I don't live in the big city, or to go up to Topanga. When I'm up in Malibu and when I'm in Topanga Canyon, I forget, especially Topanga, I forget. Canned Heat was one of the greatest all-time rock and blues bands of the 60s. The little people don't even know who they are anymore. But I tell you, they were fantastic. I still love listening to them. Canned Heat is absolutely fantastic. You know what? I have the Catalina Harbor Master coming on next week, because your festival next week, August 17th, up there in Topanga, reggaeonthemountain.com. I'm talking to the founder right now, Amit. Craig, I'm gonna ask him if we can do a reggae festival in Catalina. Wouldn't that be exciting to bring this Topanga festival to Catalina?
I think, Amit, you got a new partner.
Yeah, we're happy to throw our weight behind it, as long as we can have this kazoo player you keep talking about before.
It's so exciting to promote this. I love music festivals. I love Topanga. I love being out on the water. Catalina, of course, coming up the next couple of weeks. We're going to be talking to the Harbor Master, then the Visitors Bureau, a couple other people. Catalina's home to a lot of people. Of course, that was the Wrigley Island one time. And, of course, back in the Civil War, there was an outpost there. Well, Craig, thanks for coming on, Amit. This is wonderful. I'll see you at the festival next week. So I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, and we'll see everybody August 17th at Reggae on the Mountain.
ReggaeOnTheMountain.com. That's Amit, of course, my guest and good friend, Captain Craig. Thanks so much. Well, that's all the time that we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed our show. As always, we're so very fortunate to have such wonderful and exciting guests, and I want to thank our guests today. It's so great to have you. And let's not forget the Coasties, protecting our waters, America's lifesavers and guardians of the sea. If you go to our website, you can listen to the entire month of May and part of June. We had all kinds of people from the Coast Guard and the Coast Guard Auxiliary on. Those were some great shows. Of course, I featured them at the Armed Forces Parade in Torrance and Fleet Week at the Battleship Iowa, which was down there in San Pedro. So remember, if you do it right and follow the guidelines and safety precautions, there's no place like being out in the water in the fresh air and sunshine in beautiful, sunny Southern California. Here at the Boating Hour with Captain Rick, we cover everything that sails, motors, and floats from San Diego to Santa Barbara. Thanks for being with us today. Please be sure to join us next week and every Saturday at 4 p.m. on AM 870. And thanks to our sponsors for the show today. For a healthy gut, Livia One Probiotics and Raycom Radios, reliable two-way radios throughout Southern California without drop zones, dead batteries, and all the inherent limitations of all other communication systems. Raycom Radios. We're going to get the founder of that on the show as well coming up pretty soon. Don't forget to visit us on the web at theboatinghour.com, and now Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. Keep your emails coming. This is Captain Rick saying ahoy at fair winds dawn. Don't miss our show next week with the Catalina Harbor Master.